What is good, Foundation Nation? We're out here with yet another disc review. Today we have the Elevation Discs Binx. This is actually coming out, I believe when this video comes out, it is dropping tonight. We'll have some of these in stock over at foundationdisc.com. So this is the first driver in Elevation Discs lineup. It feels like about a 7-8 speed disc. The rim feels pretty comparable to like a T-Bird. If I had to compare it to something. But again, it's the Elevation disc, so it's like pure rubber, flimsy. So the essence of it, before they've come out with the Koi and the Interceptor, those are both approach discs. One was a putter. The idea behind the putter is catches the chains, stops all momentum in the bucket. Interceptor idea hits the ground, doesn't roll. For a driver, it's a little bit different because I'm curious to see kind of how it skips, how it grabs the grass. There's gonna be advantages and disadvantages to that. Most importantly though, is the hand feel and being able to see if I can get used to it this time around. I will say, with the driver rim being thicker, it does have a little bit more structure. So when it's in your hand, it feels already immediately better than the Interceptor, which we did a review on earlier. I never actually threw the Koi, so I won't talk much about that one, but it immediately feels better. So let's see if it flies better. So again, we're gonna go hyzer, flat, anhyzer, and forehand. Trevor and I are gonna tag team this. Trevor's gonna throw towards the camera, I'll throw away from the camera, because we only brought one of these out here. And then we'll give our Foundation certified score on what we think of it towards the end of the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a hyzer shot first. That came out on more hyzer than I intended.
We did not see it land.
All right, none at all. So it dug straight in the ground. A little more hyzer than I intended. We'll see how it flies when Trevor throws it back. Trevor also threw a little hyzer. Yeah, I mean, it did dig. It digged straight away. 2 hyzer shots in, flew decent. Nothing to complain about yet. As long as you can get used to the
Neither
feel.
one of you have grip locked it yet.
No, it feels
That's interesting.
much better than the Interceptor in my hand. Much better. We're gonna go flat now. See how that reacts out there. That was a slight hyzer. Okay, pretty overstable. It actually has a pretty true normal flight. Like once it gets out of your hand, you wouldn't be able to tell that that was a really floppy disc. But yeah, pretty neutral, slight overstable flight. Nothing wrong with it. We'll see what Trevor
It went kind of a normal driver distance
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
what I'm saying. Once it left my hand, nothing about it told me this is a weird disc in your hand. We'll see what Trevor throws back. Trevor also, I'm gonna make him rethrow that. Trevor also doesn't have any experience throwing the Interceptor or anything like that, so I have like that preconceived, I've thrown a disc like this before. This is Trevor's first time throwing something that floppy. So he dug his thumb in and got the nose down, he's saying. That one flew more normal.
You kind of squished that though.
Yeah, it kind of went far. So notable features so far, very true. It hits the ground and it stays there. Any other disc, that would roll. Hits the ground, stays there, not a lot of skip. I think that's kind of the biggest selling point of this disc. We're gonna put it on Annie. To me, right away, I'm gonna go ahead and be able to tell you, the flight of the disc isn't doing anything crazy special. For my personal preference, to choose a disc that feels like this over your normal like Star T-Bird or something like that, because the flight of it isn't anything crazy. We're gonna put it on a little bit of Annie here. Yeah, so it's flying just like a T-Bird, pretty much dead on what a T-Bird flies for me. I'm throwing it decently far.
I don't know how you're throwing it that far, honestly.
It feels like it's going about the same distance I would expect like a T-Bird or something to go. Trevor's going ahead and throwing it back. He's throwing a roller. So there's like a notion you might not have known. It can roll.
That is true. It's
far.
Wow, it really is rolling.
We're gonna make Trevor get it. He's trying to get back in shape. So you got this, Trev. That's a good pace. Keep that up. All right, we're gonna throw forehand and we'll give our final wrap up and finish up the quick review. I don't have too many thoughts on it. It's a pretty straightforward fairway driver. The flight wise isn't anything crazy. It's literally just, can you get over the feel of it? There's people in the field, so I'm gonna throw towards the empty playground over there, not actually get to it. I'm gonna throw shy of it. Just throw a little soft forehand. Forehand in this disc and me do not feel like they're gonna go very well. Because like, that's how floppy it is. When you're holding it, it like sits down.
The thing about disc golf equipment is it's meant to inspire confidence when you're holding it. This just doesn't do that. Now, maybe it does in the way that like you're holding it and you're knowing all I have to do is land this in the right spot.
But that's like, skip. I was actually surprised yours rolled because like,
mine rolled a mile as well.
But like, if I threw a normal disc into the ground like this,
like that.
Okay, well, you know, maybe not.
I think if it hits the rim,
if it hits the
hard
rim
enough. But every time it hits the ground, it's stopping on a dime. That is valuable, almost to a sense where it seems like it's cheating.
Well, what I'm curious too is like, how would this beat in?
Yeah. Probably
like if your disc gets bent like this.
I feel like it could gash and warp.
I don't know. So I'm gonna throw it forehand though, and we'll see.
I don't know anything because I can't throw it correctly. So you the boss. You are so.
How are you throwing that so well, Hunter?
You're so.
It's going. It's going. Like,
you have to put it in your bag.
I'm not putting it in my bag.
Yes, you are.
He's so depressed. He's so depressed. It's probably a good thing we have Trevor in the video, so you can see that like.
Yeah, you are being very misleading right now.
This disc is not going to work for everyone. It's something you have to get used to. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I think I have like an idea when I'm holding it from throwing the intercept.
Oh, there he goes.
There you go. All right, so there you have it, the Elevation Binx. Is there a market for this disc? Yes. Could you be in that market? Absolutely. You might be the person that is exactly this disc is designed for. It is very true. You throw it out into the fairway, it's gonna hit, it's not gonna get a big skip, you're not gonna see big flares, it's gonna be hard for it to roll away because like, I'm not pushing hard if that's coming out of the sky, you know what I mean? It's gonna be hard for it to roll away, but it's so flimsy that
you also can't put it into a disc golf bag.
It is hard if a bag's tight, it is hard to squeeze it in, just push it in. You have to kind of like work it in. So like, look, there is a market for it. Am I the market for this disc? No, absolutely not. The flight of the disc isn't good enough to counteract the feel for my personal preference, but it's something that you have to feel for yourself. Because like for me throwing it, if I'm someone that struggles with just like big skips and stuff, the flight of the fairway of the disc as a fairway driver was good. It was good. There's nothing crazy about it, nothing great, nothing awful. It's a good flight. Flew good forehand, flew good backhand, nice overstable, consistent flight. It's just the feel of it I'm never gonna like. So, foundation certified score, essentially, this disc does exactly what it's advertising to do. Issue number one is hard to learn how to throw. It takes a little bit of a learning curve. You have to figure out how to throw it, and that could be something that in a round could get in your head of like, if I don't do X, Y, or Z. If you're throwing normal discs and you're getting used to throwing normal discs and then you pick this out of your bag, you do have to throw it slightly differently to get it to fly right. You have to add a little more pop. I don't even know what I'm doing different. I was like, when I feel it, I just kind of throw it different because I threw the interceptor and got used to that. So you do have to throw it a little bit different. So I got to take some points off for that. And I also take some points off just because I don't know how this disc could be durable. It has a thin flight plate that I feel like I could puncture or stretch pretty easily. And I'd be worried about, you know, hitting this into rocks, hitting this into trees. I think this could very easily get used to being in a certain shape. Like, we'll just fold it really quick like this, and then it wants to stay in that shape, right? So like, yes, I can fold it back and get it kind of back to normal, but if I'm hitting a bunch of trees and playing with it a lot, I'm concerned about the durability of the disc. So when you factor in it's doing exactly what it's advertised to do, exactly what it's promised, and if you're looking for this disc, you're gonna be happy. That puts it on a higher end of the scale. When you factor in the plastic, feel, all of that, because all that's factored together, puts it on the lower end of the scale. We'll meet in the middle at a 6.5 for the Binx, which I think is a pretty fair score. If you want to check it out, you head over to foundationdiscs.com. They drop in tonight. I believe it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can check that out. We have some in stock. They have a bunch of different cool colors, cool swirls. It might be something you want to at least try out, or if nothing else, it's a cool conversation piece you can pull out and be like, hey, watch this. We'll park this hole. We'll see you in the next one.